my channel. If you're new here, my name's Maria and today's video is going to be my Bookish Christmas gift guide, or just a gift guide for if you have anyone bookish in your life who you want to buy something for and you're not really sure what to get other than books. So I think I've got over 20 different ideas of things that you could get for them and different things that what I think bookish people might be interested in or might enjoy. So hoping within this video you'll be able to find some ideas for things you may be able to get them that you maybe haven't thought of before. And I'm going to split it into different types of categories, so obviously book things, book accessories, bookish merch and different things like that. And at the end of the video I will actually list some of my favourite bookish shops that I have and shops that I've repeatedly bought from and ones that I would definitely recommend. So without further ado, let's just get into the gift guide. Okay, so first up is obviously books. If you have someone in your life who really loves reading, obviously the first thing you're going to think of is books. But sometimes you may think that that's a bit of a simple gift, or you're not really sure where to start with that, because if they're a book collector like myself, they may have the book that you're thinking of getting them, or you may just be unsure of what books they already have in their collection. So one thing I would always suggest is obviously ask them if they do have an Amazon wish list, or just a wish list of books that they would like to receive or that they haven't bought yet, and kind of use that as your guide. A couple of fun ideas I've seen is people making book bouquets, so I'll try and put some pictures of these on the screen where it's basically just making it look really pretty and presentable and makes it feel a bit more like a gift. You could also do 12 books for 12 days of Christmas, so you could wrap up the books individually and kind of number them, and they can open them for the next 12 days over the Christmas period, or kind of just open them as and when they read them, and it's kind of like a continuous present after that Christmas period. Or you could also do a blind date with a book, so a book wrapped up that maybe they don't know that they're getting. You could maybe put a little synopsis or a description of what the book's kind of about, if it's a romance, a fantasy, a thriller, whatever it may be. Put it in a little box with a little bit of paper and then fill it with like some of their favourite snacks, maybe a little candle, things they need for their favourite hot drink, anything you think they would enjoy while they were reading that book. So again, it's just kind of branching out on that simple idea of just getting a book for Christmas, making it a bit more special and a little more unique. Of course, you could also get vouchers for them if you want them to be able to choose the books that they're getting, and if book shopping is actually something that they love, which I'm assuming they do if they're a bookish person. And you could actually make a day of it, so you could kind of give them the vouchers, maybe book lunch somewhere that they like to eat, and you can both go together and pick the books. So again, I know the vouchers aren't really a lot of people's favourite gift to give, but I honestly love receiving them, especially if it's tied to kind of an event where we're going to go and spend the day together and purchase some things together. I just think it's really fun, and again, it makes it a bit more personalised, and to me it feels like you really did put the thought in. So it's another one I would suggest because it is one of the easier gifts to get. And then lastly, in the kind of books category, I would say if you have a bigger budget, or if this is someone that you usually spend a bit more money on, you could get them an e-reader as well if they don't already have one, or if they've been looking to update theirs. Obviously at the minute I use the Kindle, so you can use the Amazon Kindle. This is quite an old one. This was from around 2018, but it's absolutely fine. It works. But they have just brought out some new Kindles, and one is actually called the Colour Soft, which means you can just see the covers and stuff like that in colour. If you've got someone who reads a lot of manga or comics or anything like that, they can now read them in colour on the Kindle as well. So as I say, they are much bigger budget items, so they're not something that you're going to get quite cheaply. I think it's at least around £150 and upwards for an e-reader. So definitely not something you're going to be getting everyone that you know, but as I say, if the budget is there for it, this is definitely something I couldn't live without. I absolutely love having my e-reader. I mean, you can't replace real books, but for me this is just so convenient when you're going on holiday or anything like that. To be able to bring kind of all your books within one little device is really, really handy. So that's it for kind of the traditional books category, but since we're talking about the Kindle, if they do already have an e-reader and you're looking for something to buy them for it, I would say definitely look out for things like cases, stickers, pop sockets and little sleeves like this as well. So obviously there is a bit of a trend at the moment with getting a clear case for your e-reader and then covering it with stickers. Here are some examples of what I have on there, but obviously depending on the reader, depending on what they like, you may want to get them a few stickers to put in there as well. And I find the pop socket is quite handy just for holding it. I find it's easier to hold it, so again, if they don't have a pop socket already, you could get them that, or there are other grips and I can't remember the name of them, but I'll put a picture in. They crisscross at the back of the Kindle, and again it just helps to hold it without getting as much hand strain. Again, you could get a little sleeve like this. This is one I just got off Etsy, so I will try and link the shop that I got this one from below. I think it's called Needles and Riddles, and again there's a few different designs on there, but there's loads of places on Etsy and things like that where you can get these little sleeves. Usually it's a small business, so again it's great to support small businesses there. So this one's really nice. It has some nice lining on the inside as well, and it's the perfect size for probably a paperback as well, but it's really good for, again, if you're traveling or if you're taking your Kindle out, it keeps it protected. That same shop does also do kind of book cover. So this is a hardback cover that I have just to protect some of my special editions that I have that have like foiling and things like that. I do actually read from these editions, but I want to try and protect them as much as I can when I'm reading them and make sure that I'm not rubbing off the foiling or anything like that. And this has been really good to kind of help with that. And even with just your plain books, it just means you shouldn't be damaging them as much if you're maybe taking it out and about or anything like that. Again, it's just good to keep one of these just to protect it. So this is from the same shop that I got the Kindle sleeve, and again they have loads of different designs on there. As I say, if you just type into Etsy kind of hardback cover sleeve or book sleeve or something like that, loads of options will come up for something like this. So sticking with the Kindle theme, one thing that I've seen a lot of booktubers and a lot of people kind of getting is a little Kindle clicker, where basically you don't even have to be touching your Kindle, you can have it kind of resting on your lap or wherever it may be, and it's this little device that clicks onto the Kindle, and then you have a kind of remote device that helps you click the page. So extreme lazy kind of reading mode, but I think it's perfect, especially if you're kind of trying to do things with your hands but you're wanting to read at the same time, or if you need to set the Kindle down somewhere. It just looks like a really handy device just to kind of have minimal effort if you're maybe, as I say, have a drink or something like that. It just makes it so much easier and completely hands-free. And on that same trail there are Kindle holders which you can actually attach to like your bed or your chair or something like that, which means you can kind of hold it at the perfect height. I think this would be perfect for nighttime reading. So if you're trying to read in bed but you're trying to get yourself comfortable and you're not able to because you're trying to hold your Kindle, and most of the time I end up reading with holding it up like this, so I think this would be absolutely perfect for anyone who does read from an e-reader. Just makes it so easy, completely hands-free, and you can literally just snuggle up under your blanket and read without any hassle. Going back to physical books, one thing I would recommend, again for anyone who likes to read in bed but maybe doesn't want to keep the light on or something like that, is one of these. So this is a little book light that I have, and basically it just clips to the back of a book and you can turn it on and have different levels of light. And it basically just means you can read a book without having to turn on a big light or have a light on all around you, or even if you're just sitting somewhere that has lower light, you can connect this to your book and it just means you have the perfect lighting situation no matter where you are. It's quite small and compact. Again, you can get all different versions of these on Amazon and things like that. For me, this is a lifesaver if I'm reading anywhere maybe where I don't have the optimal light. I always have this with me just in case, and it definitely just makes reading a lot more comfortable. Next up, if you're looking for a few stocking fillers, you could look to get them some annotation tabs. So these are some that I've just got from Amazon. These seem to be the ones that I see a lot of people getting, so pretty cheap, pretty easily available, loads of different colours that you can get on there. I'm sure you can get these in other places other than Amazon, but that just tends to be where I get these as well. So these would be a good present, as would some new highlighters. So again, you can get kind of highlighters everywhere, but if you're looking for one specifically for annotating, definitely look for no bleed ones. So a couple that I've found which seem to be really good are these milk liner ones. Again, I'll try and link these if I can. I just got these from Amazon, and to be honest, I'm not too sure what brand these are, but these type of highlighters just seem to be really good for not bleeding. So I'll try and link a few options down below of where you can get these, but definitely if you're just looking to kind of fill up your present with kind of relatively cheaper things, these would be good things to add to kind of your stocking or to your present just to make it look a bit more full. Something that could be really special is to get them their own little book embosser. So if they're like myself and they're trying to build kind of a home library, you can basically get them this little embosser, or you can also get stamps that they can mark some of their maybe favourite books or books that they know they're never getting rid of and will always be part of their collection. So you can get these again on Etsy and things like that, and you can personalise them. So usually they'll give you the option of what design you want to put on there, what words you want to put on there. So I'll show you what mine looks like and what it looks like embossed on my book. I'm not sure how well the camera is picking it up, but basically it lets you put on a little design and put from the library of and whatever you want to put. So I put Books and Mo because I had started my bookstagram at this point, and that is the name that I decided to go with. You can also use these to emboss like little gold stickers, gold foil stickers, so you can stick them into the books if you're maybe not wanting something so permanent as that. So I do think these are a great choice, and the stamps are really good as well. And again, it's just a lovely, really personalised gift that will really make them feel like you put a lot of thought into it. I think all bookish people will agree that you can never have too many bookmarks. So again, this is another thing that I think would be a perfect addition to any bookish gift, because even though for the most of us we're reading maybe one or two books at the same time at any one given time, we can never have enough bookmarks. So a couple of examples I have is this one's just from Waterstone, so it's from Wild Press, just a really pretty design on there. And then I do have a couple of ones that I got from small businesses which are both from Etsy, but I believe they may have their own websites as well. But this first one is from the Tiny Toucan, and as you can see it's quite autumnal, just little mushrooms and leaves and things like that. And again, she has plenty of designs on there to kind of fit any taste. And then I'll have to find the shop that I got this from, but this is basically a ACOSF, so A Quarter Silver Flames bookmark linked with ACOTAR, and as soon as I seen it I just thought it was really pretty. pretty and perfect for any fantasy lovers or anything like that. And then last, for the kind of book accessories and things like that, you could also get them a TBR cart or a TBR box. So I've seen different variations of this. I do have a TBR cart myself, which I'll put a picture of it here on the screen. You can get these, I believe, relatively cheaply from the likes of IKEA and things like that, and you could decorate it like I have done mine, get them stickers or things like that to help them decorate it and personalize it for themselves. You can also get kind of TBR boxes, so if you maybe don't have the room or the space, or the person doesn't have room or space for a full cart, you can get little boxes or like little baskets which are specifically set out for their TBR. So Miss Bohemia, which is another shop that I really like, does have some of these, so I'll put some examples on the screen here as well. And they look like they're the perfect size to put on bookshelves as well, so probably fit in perfectly for any book lover who already has some bookshelves, just to help them separate out their TBR. And again, most of these things can be personalised and kind of cater to the bookish person's taste. So next up is a reading journal. So there's a couple of different ways that you could go about this. There are some small businesses who have actually made their own book journals, which maybe gives the recipient 50 to 100 pages to write book reviews and TBRs and things like that. So they will have kind of a set out template for the user to follow and to give them a bit of inspiration on what they're supposed to put in there. So they are quite nice as well, but a lot of people do also use bullet journals to kind of track their reading, track their TBRs, what they're planning to read, maybe any challenges that they're following, buddy reads that they're doing. So I did start one this year. I did fail at finishing it. I done it right up until April time, and then I just completely forgot about it, and then it was too far gone for me to be able to pick it back up again. But I have already bought a bullet journal for next year to start it again, and I'll just put up a few examples of how people kind of set those up and what they usually look like, so that you kind of understand the supplies that you might need to kind of gift a bullet journal to someone. So firstly, obviously you need the bullet journal, so you can get these from anywhere like Amazon or WH Smith or anywhere that basically sells stationery. I imagine will have some form of bullet journal. I would say to make sure that the pages are quite thick, so probably about 150 GSM, just to make sure that when they're drawing and writing and things like that, it's not bleeding through, because obviously it will ruin then the next spread. And then again with that, if you are going to try and gift them maybe like a bit of a bundle, you could get them some brush pens, some black ballpoint pens as well for lining and writing, maybe a little calligraphy set if they're maybe wanting to try to improve their writing, which is something I tried to do this year as well. And then lots of things like washi tape or stickers and things like that that they can use to decorate their book journal as well. So next up is bookish merch. So this can be a few different things, but basically this is just any merchandise that you can get that kind of has maybe bookish quotes on there, following a certain fandom, something from their favourite book, anything like that. So I am quite the collector of some of this bookish merch, and one of the things I actually love to collect at the moment is sweatshirts, and my favourite shop at the moment is probably Literature Stitches, who is based in the UK, but I believe she does ship internationally. If you watch Ellen Catherine, you'll probably have heard of this shop, as I believe she works with her, and also obviously Bookmarked by Chris as well has worked with her in collaboration to get some designs together. But here's a couple of the designs I've got recently. So this one just says my weekend is fully booked, and then it does also have it on the back. So this is a newer release because it used to just be on the front. Now with these you can pick the colour of the sweater, you can pick the colour of the thread, so it's really customizable for whoever it is you're gifting, and I just think it's perfect the way that she does that. Now I would say you probably have to order these pretty soon if you are going to order something like this, because the processing time is usually 1 to 2 weeks. With it coming up to the holidays, that may be a little bit longer, so if you do want to get something like this, definitely order it as soon as possible. And then just to show you another example, this is one I got a while ago, and it just says fantasy book reader, and it's one that I absolutely live in. I would say the sizing of these, I'm around a UK 10, pretty much standard 10, and this is the large, and it is pretty large on me. It is definitely really oversized, so this is one that I would maybe wear in the house just to be comfy and things like that. It's probably a bit too oversized for my personal taste to be able to wear out or anything, but if your recipient loves really oversized clothes or anything like that, then maybe they will like this. I would say, as I say, for my size 10, the medium is actually a perfectly oversized fit. It is still oversized, it doesn't fit tightly or anything, so it probably equates to around a 12, maybe to 14 for kind of your standard fit. So another thing I wanted to mention, as I just did mention Bookmarked by Chris, is a TBR jar. So this is the one I bought from his shop, and I absolutely love this, and he has all, again, different designs on there to try and cater to whoever it is that you're buying this for. But this again is just another really fun thing that they can put on their shelves, maybe put a few prompts in there or just the names of the books that they have on their TBR, and just kind of pick those out. If they're like me and really undecisive about what they want to read next, this would be a great addition for them, because it takes all the decision out of it and just basically gives them a really easy way to pick their next read. for most readers, one thing they will love is to have kind of a drink with them, snacks with them while they're starting their read. So me personally, I always want to have a really good mug to have a hot drink while I'm reading, and one of my favourite shops for these and one of my favourite mugs I've probably ever purchased is from Shop Narrative Thread. So this is one that is obviously for any of the ACOTAR lovers, but I just think this is absolutely perfect. It's a perfect size, kind of the perfect shape. They have a few different designs that they have on there. Most of them are SJM. I think there is a fourth wing one on there as well, but again, kind of the point of this is just to say kind of a bookish mug. So if you go on Etsy and just type in bookish mug or whatever one of their favourite books is and just follow it with mug, you will find loads of options on there for things that you can get for them that have different bookish quotes with different fan art on there as well, and you're bound to find something that they will enjoy. But this is definitely probably one of my most cherished possessions. Then similarly, we obviously need to hydrate, so they may want something for water and juice and things like that. And again, this is an ACOTAR one that I just got off Etsy, and it just has some designs on there that kind of speak to the ACOTAR fandom. It looks kind of just like a fantasy one really. And again, if you just type in the bookish fandom that your recipient likes, or if you just want a bookish tumbler, just type it into Etsy and you'll find loads of options on there. And then lastly, for kind of the bookish merch, one thing I would definitely like to get more of is some bookish totes. So I do have a few here to show you, but admittedly I haven't bought a lot other than when I've been in Waterstones and things like that. So you will obviously see that that's what most of these are. But this one is just my one from Waterstones. I got this when I was in London, and again, it's quite a big one. I did have quite a few books in my hands, so I needed a bit of a bigger one when I was shopping, but these are just so handy if you are going shopping. You can kind of roll them up and put them in your handbag, and if they happen to stroll into a bookstore and pick up a few books, they'll have this on hand to be able to bring those home. And again, this is my one from Daunt Books. Got that while I was in London as well. Then this last one is actually a free gift with purchase from Literature Stitches. She always puts the little sweatshirts in one of these as well, and this is one of the latest designs that I got. Absolutely love it. It's really good quality as well, so would highly recommend them from her as well. And then lastly, if you have someone in your life that just has kind of everything that they could possibly need when it comes to bookish things, then if they're anything like me, they'll just love to have kind of a refresh of some of what I'm calling my reading accessories. So that includes things like cozy socks, so anything like this or anything like this, especially if you live somewhere like myself where it does get quite cold in the winter. These are perfect for just getting cozy and chilling and picking up a good book. Again, they might like to get a new cozy blanket, so I don't know about anybody else, but when I'm reading I always have a blanket over me. I always want to get as cozy as possible, so just getting them a lovely new blanket that they can use when they're reading is something that I would always like to see on my wish list as well. Then lastly, I love to burn candles when I'm reading as well. Now obviously depending on the recipient, they may prefer to be non-toxic or a soy candle or even a wax melt as well, but anything that's maybe a nice and soothing smell, and just to add maybe to one of those bookish boxes that I've kind of suggested before, this would be a good accompaniment to any of those as well. So that's everything. I'm sure there's a few things that I could have mentioned, or a few things that I probably forgot when I'm editing this. I'll probably be thinking I should have mentioned that. That's something that I could have put in there. But quite honestly, I think anyone who is bookish like myself would be happy with any of the things that I've listed in this video today. And if you want to go and try and find some inspiration, here are a few bookish shops that I definitely think you should check out. So first one being, as I say, Literature Stitches. If you really like anything that's bookish in terms of merch, I believe she does a whole host of different things as well. I usually get the sweaters, but she does have a lot of other options on there for things that you can purchase, so definitely go and check out her shop. Then we have Miss Bohemia. I've definitely bought a few things from her in the past as well, including bookmarks and mugs and things like that, and she does have the TBR boxes and baskets like I was saying before, so again, go and check out her shop if you're looking for an interesting bookish gift. As mentioned, Bookmarked by Chris, that's where I got my TBR jar. Again, he does a whole host of different things like Kindle skins, stickers, bookmarks, things like that. Shop Narrative Threads, where I got my ACOTAR mug. They do some amazing sweatshirts. I actually do have a sweatshirt from them as well. I forgot to bring it in, but they do sweatshirts, I believe bookmarks, t-shirts, all different things that you may be able to find something from there. Romantasy Designs, again, I've mainly bought bookmarks from this shop, but again, the quality's been great. Really love them, and if you're a fantasy reader, you'll probably love their shop as well. And lastly, the Tiny Toucan, as I say, I've got a couple of bookmarks from them. They've been really good quality. They've got some really cute and cozy designs, so definitely check them out if you're looking for something to add to your bookish gift. So that's it, that is everything now. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite bookish gift is to give and also to receive. I'd love to know some of your ideas. I know if you have some unique ideas for what you could be gifting to someone who loves books and loves reading, definitely leave those down in the comments below. If you like this video, do remember to give it a like, and if you want to see more from me, remember to subscribe. I post 2 videos per week, and it's videos that include book shopping, TBR jars, book recommendations, reading vlogs, all good bookish things like that. Other than that, thanks so much for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye!